I'm 7 days in with the Google Nexus 4, one full week, and I'm about to tell you what I think about it. I'm Aaron from PhoneDog.com, and this is the Nexus 4 30-Day Challenge, Day 7. I'm a big fan of this phone on a couple of different fronts, although I will say I think you get more of a value add out of some of the other options on the market. But if you're looking for a no-contract solution, this is going to be a great device for you, and I've said that in a lot of the reviews and a lot of the dogfights. I'm 7 days in with the LG Nexus 4, also known as the Google Nexus 4, and things that I like about it are pretty much things you would expect that I should like about it. And if I don't, you probably would question my credentials in wireless, although everybody has their opinions. I like the LG Nexus 4's design. I think it's beautifully crafted, and when you keep in mind that you get this device for $299 full retail, $349 if you want the 16 gigabyte version, it's a really decent bang for the buck. The build quality is fantastic, the glass in the front and the back. It presents an iPhone-like problem in the fact that it is breaking pretty easily. You can find pictures all over the internet of people breaking their devices, which is no bueno. But I said that really obnoxiously, no bueno. But you get the idea, you know, it is easy to break. One thing I like about it though, 7 days in, the build quality is fantastic. Still kind of on the rocks about Android 4.2.2. Now I'm using this, if you didn't see video number 1, I'm doing this with Straight Talk. This is not technically my personal device. I do have a Straight Talk SIM card in here. And I'm testing both the service, Straight Talk service, prepaid that is, and then the Nexus 4 as well, because I wanted to test out both. When I go to Barcelona next week for work, I'll throw in most likely a European SIM card so I can use this device for data while traveling and in meetings and things like that. So overall, you know, build quality is nice. It feels great in the hand, and it's still, you know, I've been pretty impressed with the way that it performs. The fluidity is fantastic. You have really little to no lag, and that's something that I like a lot. Hey, 1111, make a wish. I wish, well, I can't tell you what I'm going to wish on camera, but really a nice device all around. Android 4.2.2, I mean, from a design perspective, it's really beautiful, and keeping in mind that there's no overlay, no skin, no whatever you want to call it, installed atop Android 4.2 Jelly Bean, it moves relatively quickly. I've had a lot of fun with just rolling back and forth, and actually I've had a lot of fun with this as well. I'll go back to the lock screen so you can see the shortcuts on the lock screen. I like my inbox here, my calendar, and then of course Google+, so I can easily access this from the lock screen. I can access Google Now if I want to, or I can go in here and then click on my Google Plus widget, and I should be able to, let's try this one more time, turn it off and back on. I always have trouble with this. Sideways, sideways, there we go. And I can go right in to Google Plus from there and see something I just posted a few minutes ago. So do like the lock screen options there. That said, I don't think it's as robust as options from Sense, particularly with Sense 5, which is what we're seeing on the HTC One. The features there, of course, the Note 2 and the Galaxy S3 TouchWiz, things that come with it. Some of those little software features, I think, make or break Android. And yes, the argument is always, well, I can get those from the Android or from Google Play, or I can hack this and root this and mod this. That's great. For the mainstream consumer, that's not going to work, and that's not a viable option. So that's something to keep in mind. Playing to two different demographics here, but I still really prefer the value adds out of the box that you get from TouchWiz and from Sense, and to a lesser extent from Motorola, from LG, etc. Just some of the customization options. Camera here, 8-megapixel camera. Photosphere, did not mean to go into Instagram. Let's go into camera. But follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/PhoneDog, and you can see I've got a bunch of different camera options. Not really impressed with the camera on this phone. This is an area where this phone definitely could use some work. I don't think the camera is that great, but I do like the fact that much like Windows Phone, you can swipe from the live gallery itself into the gallery of images. On-screen buttons, decent. Don't really have any preference either way there. Honestly, if I had to give a slight preference, I'd probably say physical buttons. I like my capacitive buttons as opposed to on-screen buttons. That said, you know, it's a small thing. It doesn't really matter that much. Battery life as well, I'm at 71% after pulling this off the charger yesterday evening and just leaving it in my briefcase. I'm sorry, 68% now. So it is dying and dying fast. The battery life has been less than impressive. It's a 2,100 milliamp hour battery, and overall, not really that great in comparison to the One X Plus, the Galaxy S3, both of which also have 2,100 milliamp hour batteries. It could definitely use some work. But this is day 7. I've got plenty more days in my 30-day challenge with the Google Nexus 4. So let me know what you want to see at PhoneDog_Aaron on Twitter, Facebook, facebook.com/HiAaronBaker, Google+, G+.to/PhoneDog, and hit me up with all your questions, and I'll do my best to answer those in subsequent videos. Thanks for watching. Keep it locked on PhoneDog.com as I take this device for work to Barcelona next week. What will I encounter? Stay tuned for the next video.